do they build long-lasting fans? Right? Do you tune in? Is somebody so enthralled by watching racing through downtown Chicago that they say, oh, well, I've got to tune in next week for their race at Martinsville or Darlington or Charlotte or Texas? I don't know. I mean, they may look at that and say, well, that's boring. I don't want to watch them go around in circles.
They could.
Right? I think NASCAR is in the middle of a massive identity crisis right now.
Limbo.
I get why they want to be more than just a small Southern sport.
Yeah.
Because every business in this country wants to grow. You got a business, Cole, you may think it's doing pretty well. Guess what? You want to grow it.
That's right.
And that's what these NASCAR owners, is what the France family wants to do also. I completely understand it. But you also have to consider at what expense. We're growing this sport with new audience members at what cost? And that's something that NASCAR has got to figure out. I don't know the answer to that question. I don't know if they say to themselves, well, we're never going to get those people back, so why don't we just go silly with it, and have it be Caddyshack 2. They took what was a fine, beautiful golf course and they turned it into an over-the-top spectacle.
Correct.
And that's kind of what's happening with a lot of sports right now. It's what's happening with boxing, with Jake Paul fighting 65-year-old men, fighting ex-MMA fighters who are over their prime. I mean, really, what does that tell you? And that's not good boxing. It's not good boxing to watch a dude who's been in the sport for like 10 minutes fighting against one of the greatest of all time, who's now well over his prime age-wise. Mike Tyson's still terrifying to watch work out. If you ever watch those, oh my God. If I'm Jake Paul, I understand why he's pushing that fight back. But I mean, it's silly. It's over the top. And I guess that's what gets people to tune in, right? They're taking that social media model of let's make this as silly and stupid as we can to get people to tune in and buy it.
NASCAR is not Formula One. NASCAR's never been Formula One. NASCAR, at the height of its sport, Diesel, was not having to go to downtown Chicago and put a can out on the side of the street and shake their can and say, please put money in my jar. Please watch my sport. At the height of their sport, they were taking names and kicking butt in the places that made their sport what it was. And I don't think the solution to growing the sport is street courses in downtown Chicago. Yes, it gets new eyeballs on the sport. I get that. But that's not what this sport is. If you want to create another sport where that's what you are, where that's what your identity is, then by all means go for it. But NASCAR, to me, is Martinsville, North Wilkesboro, Darlington, right? That's what NASCAR is to me. To me, NASCAR is not what I saw yesterday in downtown Chicago. I want to be more into it than I am. I just can't get into the road stuff.
Are you and I basically proving NASCAR's strategy right? In the fact that, are you and I, two old NASCAR fans, saying the sport has changed? It's not what I like anymore. I don't like the drivers. I don't like the sponsors. I don't like the tracks. I don't like the points. I don't like the race formats. You're never going to get me back. And so they're saying, well, screw you, Cole and Diesel. We don't need you because we're never going to get you back. So we stop trying.